And we're back for another Gab with Abigail. If you aren't back and this is your first time on my channel, hi, welcome to Gabs with Abigail, where we talk about the Bates and Duggars and other G-list fundies. For today's video, we'll just be going over a quick family tree, a kind of who's who, for anybody who's new to the Duggars and fundamentalism and just kind of interested. So here we go. Jimbob and Michelle Duggar nee Ruark have been married for 37 years, with Michelle being the youngest of 7, and Jimbob, the only son of Mary, may she rest in peace, and Jimmy Lee Duggar. Jimbob's father, Jimmy Lee, was reportedly fond of the drink and not always the best provider. Fortunately, Mary was a writer and did what needed to be done for Jimbob and her only other child, Deanna. Deanna would go on to have a daughter out of wedlock, i.e. cousin Amy. I have a whole video on Amy for those who are interested. Jimbob and Michelle have 19 children. So let's get into those kids. Number 1, Joshua, Josh, aka the Sex Pest, born March 3rd, 1988, age 33, married to Anna Keller since 2008. Anna is the 5th of 8 children. I have a video on them as well. Josh and Anna have 7 M-named children ranging from ages 12 years to 2 months. In 2015, Josh infamously was caught cheating on Anna and is now awaiting sentencing for CSAM possession. Next are fraternal twins Jana and John David, the cornerstone of Michelle and Jimbob's birth control / pro-life testimony, as Michelle had a miscarriage while on the pill before getting pregnant with the fraternal twins. Born January 12, 1990, they are aged 31. Jana is the eldest of the twins, and the biggest conversation around Jana is that she is in her 30s and still single. While absolutely normal to be still single in your early 30s, Bundys tend to marry young, and in fact, no other Duggar daughter has been over 22 at the time of their weddings. John David, aka the Bachelor to the Rapture, married to fellow IBLP ATI member Abby Burnett since 2018. They have one daughter, Grace, also known as Gracie, aged 23 months. Number 4, Jill, the rebel no one saw coming, age 30 and born May 17th, 1991. Jill is married to recent law school grad Derek Dillard, JD, and they share 2 sons, Israel and Samuel. Derek and Jill have been the most publicly outspoken against Jill's parents in the last few years. Derek has a brother named Daniel who is married to Deanna, and they also have 2 children. Derek's father passed in high school, and his mother has been in remission from cancer for the past 7 years. I think it's important to know who they are because Jill spends the majority of her time with her in-laws versus the Duggars. Jessa Seawald, the unexpected brown noser, Jimbob's best bulldog, a true sexy Scorpio born November 4th, 1992, a fixed sign. Jessa seems to have been the sister to drift the most slowly from the IBLP lifestyle. She is married to Ben Seawald, the eldest of 7 children, since 2014. They share 4 children ages 6 years to 5 months. Jessa is really the spiciest of all the Duggars in terms of the best comments and clapbacks. 2 comments, they come from her. She's so at ease being herself in a way that sometimes her siblings are not, where other influencers have to make a concerted effort for you to like them. Jessa is unapologetic in that this is who I am, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. There is a big conversation about what does Ben do and the fact that Jessa, more than any of her siblings, seems to have to rely on Jimbob's financial support, and I can only assume that comes from the fact that she does very little to criticize her parents. She goes out of her way to celebrate them in a way that her siblings do not. But the reality is that Jessa has the biggest following on social media. That's both Instagram and on YouTube, meaning she is making a lot of money for any of the sponsored posts that she does, any kind of ad revenue that she's receiving from YouTube. And I think it's because Jessa doesn't do the most that people assume that she's just not making all of this money from those things, which to me doesn't make any sense. She doesn't have to put in the effort the way that Carlin does of the Bates or like Josie. And the reason for that, to quote Drake, is that, bitch, this is fame, not clout. She doesn't have to entertain to make money. People think that her YouTube is boring, and that's again because her YouTube isn't meant necessarily to entertain you. It's an invitation to what her regular life is. People seem to like looking at it, so that's what she produces. And she's in her bag because of it. And just because she's not flashy about it, I want to remind people that she's a Duggar. Ginger with a J. Our girl Ginge, the rumored favorite and the first Duggar everyone thought would wear pants. Age 28, born December 21st, 1993. Ginger has been married to Jeremy Volo since 2015. They share 2 children, Felicity and Evangeline. They made the decision this year to stop posting their children's faces to the gram. The Volos currently live in Southern California, making Ginger the first sibling to leave Arkansas after marrying, and she continues to be the furthest away. Joseph, known as Joe. Born January 20th, 1995, he is married to Kendra Caldwell, and they have been married since 2017. They share 3 children, ages 3, 2, and 10 months. Josiah, the rumored gay Duggar, see my video for why I hate that rumor, born August 28th, 1996. Josiah is married to Lauren Swanson, and they share a 2-year-old named Bella. Joanna, most commonly referred to as just Joy, is the middle child and the tomboy, as the only girl born between 2 older and 6 younger brothers. She has been married to Austin Forsyth since 2017, and they share 2 children, Gideon 3 and Evelyn 15 months. Austin's parents run Camp Fort Rock, which is like a fundy retreat/haven. If you follow along with anybody, you'll see oftentimes in the summer that they post at this camp. Austin's parents were famously on the television show World's Strictest Parents. The Lost Boys. Kids 10 and 11 are another set of twins, Jedediah, aka Jed, and Jeremiah, aka Jer, born December 30th, 1998. They'll be 23 this year. They were the first Duggars to move out of the big house, off the land and everything, before being married. Jed married Katie this year, 2021, and they're expecting their first baby in 2022. Jed does the Duggar car lot racket and also ran for office in 2020 but lost. Jer, formerly the hottie Duggar, but with the hairline catching up to him and the Panasonic making us realize we need to get out the house, Jeremiah is currently courting Hannah Wisman, sister of the guy everyone incorrectly thought Jana was courting. Jason and James are the lostiest of the Lost Boys for me. No shade, because I do think internally they do matter a lot amongst the brothers. Jason is 21, though to be honest, he seems so much older than me to me. Jason is a contractor and often leads his older brothers in projects. Jason has the strongest social media presence out of all the Duggar brothers who have IG accounts. He is probably the most overtly masculine in the rugged sense of masculinity. Being an outdoorsman is very much a part of his brand. James, named after his father, I'm assuming because of his proximity to Jimbob's date of birth, and that is literally all I have to say about James. Actually, I want to add, it's interesting that nobody got the name James Robert, because Jimbob being James Robert is something that's passed on from his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, but ended with him. And I wonder if that's the whole sins of our fathers thing. Justin, child number 14, born November 15th, 2002. Justin shocked fundy gazers everywhere by getting married at the age of 18 to 20-year-old Claire Spivey in February of 2021. Claire is the eldest of 6 kids, and Justin has since relocated to Texas, making him the second Duggar child to leave Arkansas. Jackson Levi, the first and counting child. Jackson is the child whose ultrasound they go to see in the very first 14 kids and pregnant again. Jackson is my personal favorite brother, and the child I think will be most likely to break away / go very fundy light. He is also, in my opinion, the best looking of the brothers, and this is because he is the son that looks the most like Michelle. Johanna. Yes, there is a Jana, Joyanna, and Johanna. Johanna, aka Hanny, was the first Duggar birth we got on television. She's 16. Jennifer, aka Jenny, the only true blonde in the family. The child that everyone thinks is the most over it. We're all rooting for Jenny to become a veterinarian like she dreams. However, going to college and learning science from a real science teacher and the leaks in the system that might create has me very iffy that we will actually get to see that happen. Jordan, the daughter whose first year of life was eclipsed by the premature arrival of Josie. Jordan has my favorite spunk and spice out of the younger girls because Josie's feels like youngest child showered with attention and therefore just very incredibly confident because no one ever tells you no.
Yes. Okay, let me restart that. Today Jessa is bringing over dyed boiled eggs and we are going to make some hard boiled, what are they called? Pocket eggs?
Angel eggs.
These are really confusing. Okay. Today Jess is bringing over, I cannot say this.
I'll say it. Today Jess is bringing over some dyed hard-boiled eggs.
And last but not least, Josie. Josie was born at just 25 weeks, and every year, twice a year, Michelle reminds us how special that she is and that she made it, which is incredibly special, but just saying. She's definitely the stereotypical youngest child of a family. Doesn't matter if you have 3 kids or 19, you tend to spoil the baby of the family, and she definitely, you can tell, gets that kind of privilege and attention from her parents from being their last child. Alright, that's really it. I hope you guys enjoy that. If you needed it, if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. Anyways, that's it for me. Have a good one.